Well, no, it's a simple question. It doesn't really need to. How strong, roughly, are Toutler's kids? Who are warlords?
That depends on which one. There's three of them. They're all strong in their own ways.
The one who's related to Goji's backstory.
Oh, I'd have to actually look at Goji's backstory.
There is one who's doing something to his people, and that's the one I would have to deal with.
That doesn't narrow it down in my list.
He hasn't told me much.
No, that's fully fair.
I was only given the bare bones because he wasn't in call very long.
I'll be honest, guys. Daka also needs to raise his intelligence.
What the f...
Are you good?
Hunter, so do all of us. Our highest plus is a +1.
I'm out here.
What is your intelligence, Grumpy? Is it 14?
13.
His is 13, mine's 12. We both have a +1. That's the best we have in the party.
Man, if only Duramar was here, right?
I've already had an intelligence increase, by the way. I started at 12. And it was like beginning.
I haven't had any. I started at 12.
I know.
Same, started at 11.
I want to raise mine because I just want to get my saving throws as high as possible. That's really all I care about.
I need to get mine. I need to get mine up to 18 if I want to start the quest line. I assume for my Dragon Main close.
Well,
to speak to your...
Hunter, you have two options. We can get the Uncommon Metagame to raise you straight to a 19, or we can do the hard staking wave, slowly raising you over a lot of sessions.
I do need that item would expedite.
Which I don't.
But I assume, but it's an
level,
attunable item, and I don't have these
Hunter, at an
slots.
item of that level, we can copy the enchantment into your sword or something,
That's true.
and just have your sword raise your intelligence as long as you're.
We could have my rock give me intelligence.
Okay, Hunter, I don't stand by that one because then your rock turns off when you die. I'd like the enchantment to stay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like the enchantment to not go away when you die.
So Goji doesn't mention in his backstory which of the three warlords he's referring to.
Okay, because I was given the bare bones of one specifically is putting people through like breeding programs, and that's the one he wanted.
No, that's what Toutler was doing for a very long time.
He said in background there is one currently doing it to his people.
Oh, let me look.
And that's what he told me he wanted Sieko to deal with because Sieko's a dragon, and in Goji's mind, dragon equals strong.
That's it's
good.
true.
Which, to be fair, I am strong. However, I don't think I'm strong enough to fight any of the warlords yet.
You know, that's a fair point. Let me open.
But it's a quest for time to pass on.
I will say none of those kids are level 20.
Okay, there's that at least, I guess. That's something.
You could be level 15 and have like amazing items and still be scary.
Oh,
yeah, but
so there's Sudrish of the north, there's Jinkarth of the south, and then there's Olares of the center.
You know, what would you just do all three? You get one of them that did it.
I believe Goji said he was from near the bottom coast area when he was pointing at the map.
That'd be Jinkarth.
Jinkarth. What is he known for, roughly?
That he rules the southern lands, and he's one of Toutler's kids.
Is there nothing about what he's specifically doing? Because usually that fits
all that the players would have access to information-wise is that Toutler had 10 kids, only 3 inherited, and there's a reason.
Okay, do we have a rough thing of how, like, compared to each other, how strong each one is?
Nope. You just know...
Like, oh, this one's doing the best. He has the most land.
Nope, they split it evenly, and have already been known to come together when threatened before. Don't worry, it's on the pre-show, so if Caleb wants to watch this later, all he has to wait till is I think it's Saturday when this releases, and he can rewatch the beginning pre-show
part. So what
part.
here it is, I have a 3 Orc Princess situation again.
Much worse. None of these 3 are ever in the same place.
Well, that's not the problem, because now I know which one I have to go for. It's just...
Where is he?
Yeah, it's where in his land
I will say, Toutler's capital was in the south, so...
So I at least have a starting point.
Mm-hmm. So it means that whichever sun is the southern sun probably is the strongest, because that would be where most of the empirical knowledge and information would be kept, as well as most of the empirical lands.
That's what I was thinking, because they would all want that specific area.
Mm-hmm. So it tells you what is Jinkarth's relationship. You can ask Tren, he should know. He remembers most of his kids.
No, he doesn't. I've talked to him about things in D where he doesn't remember shit.
You know, fair.
He barely remembered what Snicknedge's whole deal. I don't think he remembers much more.
Let's take a bet. Let's see. I'm doing a bet. Can you confirm who/what were Toutler's 10 sons' names? Let's see if he remembers any of them.
The names, maybe. I just don't know if more than that. I still think I don't think he knows the names.
It's a trick question. He only ever named 3.
Yeah. Yo, what if you get a message that's 10 names that you just made up on the spot?
Oh no, you bullshit me. I do the same thing to Cameron every once in a while.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to keep people honest.
I was like, to be fair, there's 2 ways it goes. Either they bullshit you, or they think they remember something that's kind of similar but unrelated. Because I have those moments all the fucking time.
I mean, we'll find out if we have 3 legit names, and then the others are joke answers like dick, balls, cock, dope.
As long as he knows at least one of the 10, he remembers something. So we'll see.
I doubt he remembers it, to be fair, though.
No, yeah.
We have a code DACA.
It's such a side thing. I doubt he fucking...
What does DACA think of being king, and what does he plan to do?
Dude, King DACA's a king.
I mean, DACA would understand what kingship is. He knows that kings rule over people, that they take care of their people, because his father is a chieftain, which any scholar would point out and say that's basically a small king. You know.
So to be fair, he probably knows how to delegate, and he has a party with him.
DACA, out of all of you, is again also the most eligible for royalty, because he's the only one who actually has technically nobility in his blood.
To be fair, that doesn't say much.
No, not in the slightest, because you're dealing with an insect who is an ex-hive member, who has never been anything more than a drone, experiment on a Trask, and a Warforge.
Yeah.
And a lizard man.
So yeah, and then the lizard man, who you guys have very little known about. Now, DACA is technically would be roughly your guys' closest thing to a party leader as far as qualification goes. He's the most educated. He's the highest birth ranked in the group.
Also, I do want to put out, although I don't think there's right behind the DACA, I am technically second because of my evolution. I technically have royalty in that because of what I'm related to.
No, those did not rule through bloodline or anything of the such. They never. That is actually an one of the few things that dragons do not look on.
It doesn't. Oh, they're gone and I'm here. I think I can kind of say what I want at this point, and no one remembers.
Never said they were gone.
No one's talked to him in a long time.
That's
true.
I'm here. No one's spoken of them in quite a while.
Well,
isn't there like another dimension or plane where the dragons are? At least a few of them are.
There's one. There's the realm of Forgotten Pages, where one has been noted. That's one of the 6 Sigma dragons. It's never talked about what happens to the dragon leaders, other than the fact that the Heli supposedly kill them.
I believe the Fire Sigma Dragon's in the Gnomish lands, you said?
I will put this out there.
You told me. You told me where it was. I just don't fully remember. I know it's a big mountain somewhere. It's just sitting there.
Oh, with one of the dragons?
Oh, I know where it is.
The Fire Sigma.
Yes.
It was
top
the
left continent. It's the big mountain.
Just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That sounds good.
But as far as it goes, I will note this, because no one's ever brought this up. The Heli claim in the histories to have slain the dragons and basically broken free of the rebellion and basically replaced them in general. Now, they don't add that part, but that's kind of the rough idea you get, is that the Heli took over where the dragons left off after they did a slave rebellion. What's interesting to note about that is if they were able to take down 7 royal dragons in which they all had their own, basically created and crafted the concept of magic into the world's existence for the most part, at least for the mortal beings from their perspective, how the fuck they win that? And then on top of that, how are they still so easily subjugated by a level 20 wizard? Something to think about. One of the things I love about history, and one of the things you'll always learn in my books, is that I never write history exactly how it happens, because if I wrote it how it happens, it doesn't simulate history. History is written by the winner.
If we look at how things went, I think most dragons, I think we can fully believe because of what some of them, I think at least some of them just kind of left willingly, because some of them are just settled elsewhere.
Well, there's one of them at least that you know.
Well, Forgotten Page, they just fucking left. Mm-hmm. They didn't. Fire Dragon 2, it went and laid down somewhere and never moved, even up to this day.
Mm-hmm.
So I fully believe it fits with at least some of them, that some of them just didn't care and wanted to be left alone.
Yes, that is the majority of any dragon that is of a Great Worm rank. Actually, pretty much any dragon that's ancient or higher is going to be of the same.
Yeah, because when you get to a certain point, you just want to sit with your board and just not...
My God, Mike.
What?
He doesn't know any of them, but he has his own little headcanon on who 2 of those were.
Yes! I was right! I'm sad that I was right because this tells me nothing about what I needed to know. However, I was still right.
Elon Musk and Jesus Christ.
Okay.
He named them. That's the worst part.
Oh, they're also weird names, and he hasn't been D&D in a while.
It's true. Me and him haven't spoken in someone like now. Oh shit, 6 months, 5 months, something like that. We haven't hung out
Something like that.
outside of D&D, like when he shows up in a Wolf's game. So yeah. Also, hi Robert, welcome.
Greetings.
How stoned are
you
you,
ready?
Robert?
You ready for King?
Not too bad.
King
We
Daka.
we were
There's
just
no-
putting together end tables.
You're gonna
He's
wish
not
that will
stoned.
change at the end of this.
Singular.
He's not stoned enough for King Daka.
Yeah, we came to the realization Daka technically is the most noble and has the highest education of the party. Because he was educated by a scholar, which is the equivalent of a college professor, and technically, since in his backstory mentions his dad's the village chief, he's kind of like a small noble technically. Which is really sad to say, seeing as Daka is also, I think, the lowest intelligence of the party.
No.
With
11.
an 11?
OG.
Goji does, yeah, that's true. Goji does.
He's actually not. Daka's not stupid.
Well, to be fair,
Well,
the lowest part in the
culturally-
Goji, everyone in the party doesn't have a negative other than Goji. We're all zeros or above.
Yeah.
Like, we're not dumb as a
You
whole.
know, that's good for monsters, right?
Yeah, it actually kind of is for the kind of monsters we are.
I'm smarter than the average commoner.
I will
that
say, you will all be gaining bonuses once the last person hits level 10 for your character's notoriety.
Almost there.
Yep.
Almost.
Goji,
Don't worry, guys. I'm almost at
Daka-
level 9.
Yeah, I say it's Goji, Daka, and Bastion are all like level 8, I believe, still.
No, I'm level
Actually,
9, like right
Okay.
on the brink.
Oh,
Like,
are you
less
really?
than 2,000 away.
Wow.
Alright.
Yep.
I think Goji's only like way to 9, so.
I'm roughly like 4,000 XP away from getting to level 9.
Getting
Yeah,
there.
our last level of Things Goes There is just gonna be Goji.
Well, I've got good news if you can manage to. So, every time we have a new dungeon master, and I'll bring this up as I mentioned, when we get someone who officially comes to the elevated title of dungeon master in the group, which is, well, I say elevated, it's more like a downgrade because now you're just going to be more stressed about your shit and you have to deal with 4 idiots at all times rather than just your own idiocy. But once you have, you upgrade to a dungeon master. So Cameron is now officially one of our dungeon masters. Why is this relevant? Well, every time there's a new dungeon master, minus Fraz, because Fraz doesn't participate in anything I try to do. Such good friends. We have them create an encounter. An encounter for a
No.
random campaign that they think would be interesting, and we judge their level of competency as a DM that way. So their goal is to try and make something challenging for the players, but not that will automatically TPK them. In his words, when I asked him to do this, and I'll give you his exact description of it, this should be interesting. If there's a question about the stat changes, I have answers for these. And that he expects it will kill Tigtrick.
What the hell?
No, I
wanna-
will copy and paste the whole thing once once the comment. Now
I
this
wanna-
will not happen this session, but could.
I want to ask, did he get to pick which campaign he was making an encounter for?
No, I picked that.
Okay. I was gonna say, because I feel like Monday is like a tough test of competency because we're all very weird and a lot stronger than we should be for our level. But at the same time, our action economy is what it should be for our level.
Well,
So
to
it's
be
very
fair,
awkward.
Nope.
to be fair, Daka's strength is incredibly random.
Thank you
Yes.
for reminding me. I need to pull up that table now while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, because it all depends on what happens that Daka might
No, but,
think
like,
about,
Hunter,
or
as an example, Tigtrick is a rogue. He has all the abilities he should have as a rogue at his level, but he has a 24 AC. And a
Yeah.
ton more damage than he should as a rogue because of his magic item. I am a level 10 paladin. I am as I should be as a paladin. I have a 27 in strength and a 20 in charisma.
yeah, I don't have that high of stats. But then
Yeah,
again,
they
my
both-
strength is at 23 and my constance at 21, so
Fair,
it ain't too
I got
bad.
the-
Sure.
my stats are high because I evolved. You'll get your big thing when you hit level 10.
Yeah,
Ooh.
So I mean,
which I'm excited for level 10. I wonder
We'll see what happens.
I mean, Divine Daka? Divine King Daka?
Hunter, are you gonna join me as a divine?
God Emperor of Orc kind?
And something like that. A rock killed a rock that fell on a rock that landed on Daka.
Dang. You didn't say it killed Daka, though.
I don't have to.
It just landed on it. Dawkins is gonna believe it didn't happen and move on. Fucking.
This mistake didn't
Alrighty.
happen.
Welcome, for those who are watching in the recordings, if you watch these back, which apparently some people actually do, because we've been getting 1 or 2 views now, which I don't think they're coming from the party members, because it's actually the full videos I'm usually getting watch time for, which I find weird. So for those of you, that one person out there who's watching all 1 to 3 hours of this content, I'm sorry, but welcome.
What's wrong with? What's wrong with
As a kindness to you, I've made labels to mark in the chat, in the playback chat, on when the show begins, so you can easily scroll to that point by just watching the chat when you see the beginning of the show. That's me commenting that this is the start. But I digress. Because the DM has this power, and Wolf gave me a great idea to do this, Cook, remind us what happened last time.
Alright. Last time, we were on an airship, I believe, for a little bit. Yes, that's precisely it. The dragon, the red dragon from earlier in this campaign, I do not remember the name, but it was Daka's, I think, niece? Daka's niece, no, Duramar's niece. Duramar's niece paid us a visit again. Didn't kill Tick-Trick. And, if I am also correct, Daka and Little Daka. Oh, that's Little Daka! That's right! Because we left the... what was that dimension called? The Thing of Pages?
Realm
of Pages. Yes, Realm of Forgotten Pages. Realm of Forgotten Pages, we got some information there. We left into one of the Plains of the Moors, which is just hell, and we got out. Met Little Daka, flew on over to the Orc capital, temporarily got a new pet, which was a green great worm, but Tick-Trick let him go.
Yeah, good old spit up.
Like a punk.
For a
Rest
favor.
in, can't wait to get Spit Up back. That's gonna be fun. Daka also became the king of the orcs. And honestly...
That summed up
That's
an hour
the
and
deep
35
loop.
minutes of content, everyone. So now you know why last week's episode was short. All that happened in 1 hour and 35 minutes. As a dungeon master, I pride myself on being a man who can pretty much deal with any situation that my players can come up with. But there is a certain limit as I get older to my ability to come up with bullshit on the go, and they hit it after an hour and a half yesterday. So that is now the new benchmark for whoever tries that again. But yeah, so Cook summarized it pretty kindly. The party starting out in the Forgotten Pages realm, teleported through, jumped on a ship, made friends with Little Daka, watched Little Daka wrestle a dragon to the ground and forced it into his companionship, and minimized it. And then basically after Tick-Trick was promised, without getting the name of the dragon, that he
I got
would
images.
get
some
he'd
random
get a
shit.
favor from it. He let
got
it
an
go.
IOU.
Yeah. So, and now we come back to the party after basically stealing the kingdom out from underneath Sunday Party. And by teleporting them with the queen's corpse into their...
I stole it from myself!
Yeah.
I want to put here that we missed the part that I got enslaved by said red dragon.
Yeah, Sieko
You
has
benefited
been
from it. Don't complain
brought
about that.
into the Red Dragon woman's household. Best thing is, Sieko has no fucking clue this woman's name because no one remembered it, even though it was clearly stated multiple times. So
I have it on Duramar's sheet, but...
it looks like Sieko's got to go digging through character sheets.
Joke's on you. It's also Ren Centauri sheet. Her name's Isagora.
But yeah, so we come back to the party kind of just standing in this throne room, Daka having given his first order to steal back the green, from the evil invaders, or to take their green, rather, which is considered one of the greatest dishonors in orc known culture. To steal another's green is to basically say that you are making them worthless, that they will have no value, and that by equivalent, basically, that they have no right to existence. So, in Daka's way of putting it, to the rest of those of you who are not trained in orcish culture or primal orcish culture, basically what he just said is, I'm going to steal all your money, everything you own, and everything that you are, and I'm going to leave you with nothing to exist, and be punished for the rest of your life as you walk on this earth. Because that's generally what Daka's kind of doing by stealing their green, if you will, or taking back their green. So we come back to the party, having Daka just given this order to that random orc squire that ran off. The party's still standing kind of in the throne room. Daka sitting on the chair. Little Daka seems to be poking at some sort of pot that he seems to be playing with. The smell of corpses kind of in the air. It's dank, it's dark, and it's wet. Welcome to the orcish throne room.
Hell yeah.
What would you all like to do?
I
Okay.
mean,
Should
I'm
we
waiting
check
to
out a new city?
I need to implement a state religion.
Hmm.
Oh, we're doing this now? Okay.
One of the guards comes running in as you say this with a priest who very clearly is wearing very half asleep, barely dressed, as if it looks like his clothes were just tossed onto him, and he's completely disheveled, and his glasses kind of uncrooks these like very broken shards of glass with a like wooden frame around them. He kind of wipes his hair back, fixes his long cloak, and kind of looks up and kind of kneels to one knee and goes, my king, you requested something about a state religion?
I'm gonna toss a handful of these amulets of Terrasitis and be like, we worship Terrasitis now.
Okay. He kind of picks up the amulets and kind of, should I distribute these to all the head priests, or are we looking
Yes.
to... Thank you, my liege, and he turns and walks out.
Very efficient. I like it.
That was handled well, I think.
All right, yeah, he goes right out, and the guard kind of returns to his post, standing at the door.
Should we
That's all
check
I
out this
wanted
new
to
city?
do. Whoa.
You know, Daka, as much as you may be upset at that other group with the war, I think there
What
may
other
be
group?
more important things for you to focus on.
What other group?
Oh, I don't know.
I think
Dr.
it was a theory
Junior
you made
speaks up and
disappear.
goes, you mean the guys who killed the queen?
Oh yeah, those guys. They gave me a new position. They're fucking awesome.
Well, Daka drops the
What?
pot and kind of pulls out a crown.
King Daka
But I-
is a king.
I think you could gain an even bigger kingdom. And I heard some very, very worrying news.
From who?
From the crystal.
The world news.
You've
The,
lost
uh,
me.
The tieflings declared war on the color green. They said it's bad.
Show me this.
Bastion, don't make me roll inside. I have advantage.
Show me.
Don't fucking make me do this.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Bastion. Robert, show me. This is a serious crime.
Well, the crystals in the ship.
Give me a deception roll. Bastion.
I
I know
don't
you
crystal
really want this to happen.
Oh, that's a one. Let's go.
The one.
Oh, God.
Oh no! All right, Daka. Let's do your insight, Daka.
I have a +3 to insight.
That's still you can
He's got
roll that
this.
one.
That's a 2 +3.
Daka, you're
5.
pretty sure you haven't heard any news about anybody declaring war on the color green. However, you would be smart enough. No, World News doesn't cover everything. So, I mean, it's possible. Not likely, but it's possible. There are no green tieflings. You would know that. Or blue, or yellow, or purple. Well, technically there are purple.
There are
I can-
purple and there are red, but purple tieflings aren't sneaky because I've seen them before.
Daka
Yeah,
Jr. just nods along enthusiastically.
See,
I-
he
I-
gets it. He gets it.
I know the one that I worked with in my past that I've been hunting. She was not very fond of the color green, and well, was royalty.
Who is this person?
Tikva Silversong.
Isn't the tiefling leader like really strong and allied with multiple other nations?
Oh,
mean, we
do I
were-
have a
we were
spy
just there
brigade?
Fighting their army.
The guard kind of heads out the door. A few minutes later, you hear someone go, "What the hell are you grabbing me for?" And you see him dragging this really skinny orc who's in like nothing but all black clothes. And he looks up and sees Daka is sitting on the throne, kind of immediately bows and looks up and goes, "My liege."
I need you to investigate the Bastion. Who are we investigating?
The
What was the name
Tiefling.
again? Who? That
The
tiefling
leader.
person.
Well, you're talking about Tikva
Yes. Tikva. What?
Silversong.
Yes. I need you to investigate this tiefling, Tikva Silversong. But before you go out,
Yes, my liege.
you need to change your clothes.
Yes, my liege.
Oh,
Would you
Black
like the
isn't-
information we already have?
You may want
Oh.
to put on some pants too.
That he nods vigorously as he looks down. He looks back up as Daka and goes, "Would you like the information we currently have on the tiefling leader, my liege?"
Yes.
Yes. He kind of scrambles and goes, well, this is unfortunate. I left them in my pants. And he kind of stands straight up, proudly showing everything from below the waist, and goes and reports
This is
in action.
You may grab your pants.
My liege, has no need. Allow me. We know that Tick the Silversong does not like orcs. She has been reportedly and confirmed to have tried to assist in the consolidation and landing of the orcish lands. Although reports are kind of varying. It was a Silversong. We're not sure which Silversong. It's assumed it was Tikva. As he continues, we have reports that she does not like orcs. Not due to any reason other than the fact that she just does not seek them favorably after her own encounters. After her and an organization tried to colonize the Storming Empire, a land that was already ruled by another orc, and the orcs chased them off and killed a couple of their organization, but not their main group. He looks over. There was a man by the name of Kilxius, I believe, with them. He was a red orc, but he was considered an outcast, if that helps, my liege. Beyond that, she has never reached out to us. She has never seeked an alliance of any sort or any assistance to us, but she has neither asked us for anything in return. In the current opinion of your master of intrigue, I would say that Tikva Silversong is not a direct enemy, but she could become one and is dangerous. She does control the third largest army in the world right now.
We'll keep her in mind. I do need to implement a new outfit color for our spies.
Does it include
purple.
pants, my liege?
Purple.
Purple? Understood, my liege.
Thank you.
He turns and walks out. The guard kind of goes back to his position, standing there.
Is there anyone currently attacking the orcs right now?
Goblins.
Goblins?
I can kill goblins.
Where are they?
I'm good at
You
killing.
know, those people who attacked the capital, they're pretty strong, yeah?
Well, they
Probably.
apparently killed the queen.
After we take our green back, maybe we give them an opportunity to ally with us. Kill the goblins.
Daka Jr. looks up and goes, "Goblins green. They stole green."
We will take all of the goblins green.
Making two people's green at once? That seems pretty hard.
May I spearhead the operation to take the goblins green?
I would like to be there. we will go forth and take the goblins' green.
Mhm.
Their skin is made of green. I want it.
I think I have a skinning knife somewhere. Hold on.
Goblin leather.
You can have this one,
Sounds nice.
Siako.
Oh, perfect.
I'll just toss you a Jagger.
We
This works.
will turn them into green cattle. Breed them for their skin.
Oh my god. Okay, well, we're doing this.
And provide green for the greenless.
I think this is the closest thing to charity we're gonna get out of talk.
This is a weird plan, Daka, but you know, it's alright.
No, I like this plan.
Why is it weird?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know why I said that. I think people have gotten too much influence on me. Never
get-
mind what I said.
Yes, we have a plan of action then, Tim. There you go.
God, where are the closest goblins?
The guard turns and goes, "My liege!" He shouts at the top of his lungs, echoing through the entire office, and goes, or entire throne room, and goes, "The closest goblins are currently beneath you."
Bring me to them.
"Yes, my liege." And he turns and stands at the door waiting for you to keep up with him.
Yes, let us go, companions.
Why not?
All right.
As you lot, Bastion, do you follow along with them as well?
I suppose.
I can feel Bastion sighing, looking longingly to the east.
It's the dock of necessities, Bastion.
So the guard kind of opens the door. A small little regiment starts kind of escorting you guys around. A few minutes go by. You come to a staircase going down a long, uninteresting stone hallway. As you go down the stairway, you go a few flights of stairs. You start to lose track of how deep underground you are, and then finally you come out to a very large opening with this central pool of what looks to be some sort of red liquid. Many of you would recognize this as lava, given technically it's magma because it is below the ground. And as you see this, you see goblins moving some giant mechanical wheel that's spinning in the lava, just pushing it while they're chained to it and being whipped. And the guard kind of halts at the entrance and goes, "My liege!" And he yells right in Daka's ear. He goes, "My liege! The goblins you requested."
Very good.
"Thank you, my liege," as he continues to yell in your ear.
Now, where are enemy goblin encampments?
He turns and goes, "We have not declared, my liege, on the goblins. That there is therefore no evil goblins currently."
Where are goblin encampments?
Last scout reports were far to the north, beyond the mountain ranges.
Seems kind of far.
Have there been any reports of goblins attacking our towns and cities?
No, my liege. Goblins tend to stay away from the Orcish lands due to the fact that orcs are well known for enslaving them. It's very hard for goblins to successfully manage to slay or even harm most orcs.
Gotcha. I thought for some reason I was told, this is, out of character, I thought the goblins did raid and attack the...
They
Orc
assassinate from their caves.
You're
is
not
what's
sure.
written.
I mean, you did hear that, but you're not sure why this guard's saying otherwise.
Okay, maybe a good question is, what are attacking your cities and stuff?
Who is currently attacking and or raiding our towns and cities?
My liege! As he turns and yells right in your ear again. Spittle going all over at this point. You're starting to develop a little bit of swimmer's ear. And he goes, "I can confirm the only current invading forces besides Prince Mir and his forces trying to take the Orcish throne for their own, to create a new dwarvish kingdom, according to what we have learned from our spies. Lord Hawken, of the House of Firecrest, is currently assaulting our lands. The House of Aez has currently sent troops and led siege to the southern merchant city. We also have a very famous dragon slayer that is joined the A's army, a threat to supposedly a large dragonborn or potential dragon that was polymorphed that enjoys stepping and smashing people beneath their feet. They've been specifically hired to destroy them. We're not sure much more, but besides they specialize in dragons and Tarrasques.
And tell me more about these dwarves.
Currently in the Dwarven lands, from my understanding and from what our reports have stated, my liege, is the fact that there's a civil war going on amongst the Dwarf lands. Prince Ogain, who has seized the majority of the power, made a deal with the Heli, and as you're probably understanding, the Heli have not been able to back them. Thus, Prince Ogain's favor has been dropping. Prince Mir sought to take the complete opposite direction and head to the Orklands to kill the Orcish queen, and hopes to establish a secondary dwarf kingdom for those fleeing Ogain's now majocracy-like views. Interestingly enough, we have confirmed dwarves not very good at magic. That is all we know currently. Prince Mir, as you last saw him, was attacking our queen. Unfortunately, most of the guards were slain. Myself, I'm only a squire that was promoted today. Moments before you showed up, in fact, actually. My captain is, the man who promoted me died. Anyways, but from what I was able to gather, I think Prince Mir planned to take the crown that was on his belt, my liege, and crown himself the new ruler of these lands. I believe that the crown may have something to do with the Orcish throne. But I have no other information I can offer you.
Heard. Copy that. Well, fellas, anything else? I mean, I don't know if the goblin idea... I mean, we can go kill the goblins still.
We have goblins and we have an Aez army that's directly being a threat.
The Merchant City. Or Tieflings, but that Bastion wants.
Well, yeah, but just the Aez army is directly killing your people, to be fair.
Technically, they're not his people in any way, shape, or form.
Still, they're going to push here.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So they're going to be a threat to his people.
Possibly.
After we take the green from Hawkins' people, we will leave them alone. I think that's punishment enough. It's a heinous thing I'm about to do.
My liege, if I may, we did get a report that had confirmed there was a rebellion currently in the this supposed House Firecrest camp. One of his close compatriots has been confirmed to have betrayed him and led a revolt against him.
How horrible!
Yes.
Traitors are completely not deserving of life.
My liege, they were these traitors were the same people that you, well, not you, but your predecessor had requested be sent to the Firecrest lands to scout out him and learn more about him and his compatriots. Although, to be fair, the main antagonist is not related to us. They seem to have a member amongst them that was fully prepared to betray them from the get-go.
Interesting.
Seems like their problem.
If I may, if we were to strike now, this would be our only time to push them out of the Orc lands.
Well, it doesn't sound like that's going to be an issue, considering they have a civil war of sorts breaking out in their city.
Frankly, soldier, I want more grain. That is the most important thing to an orc, is their green. And I want more.
Well, my liege, if I may, then the emerald mines of the Dwarvish lands would be your first go.
That sounds phenomenal!
Besides
Gentlemen.
that, the unification of all orcs would be your other option if you're trying to gain more manpower, my liege.
Green manpower specifically.
If you're willing to accept our cousins of the black, green, and red variety, you could go challenge their new leader to one-on-one combat. He has confirmed that any who could defeat him would be given right to the kingdom and all his people immediately. He is one of those orcs that believes might makes right, strength is what rules, if you will.
Fair enough. I want to unite our people, the Green Orcs.
The guard just kind of stares at you, like waiting for you to say more.
I want to unite our people, the Green Orcs. Then I want to take the emeralds from the dwarves. Then I want to kill the goblins.
Nice to-do list.
You know, my liege, if I may recommend, then, why not head over to the orc lands now to speak to that orcish leader and maybe either convince him to give you the great rights to to give you the green orcs in his lands immediately. It'd be much easier to just discuss straightforward, and you'd be able to bring back an army, which would theoretically allow us to take the dwarven lands. If you don't mind my speaking, my liege.
DM, what type of orcs lands are we in right now?
So you are in the Orc lands with a K, similar to your people, but not primal. The orcs of the Storming Empire are spelled with a C. Those are red, green, and black orcs. Those are the big continent in the center of the map. You are on the left side over in the, you're in Eagle View Tower right now, technically. City of Strongdale, though. Left side of the continent, if that helps.
After we will head over, me and my compatriots will head over to the Green Orcs. In the meantime, I want you to start writing up a green peace with Hawkins people.
Yes, my liege.
After taking all their green.
Yes, my liege. And they turn and start marching up.
Alright, men, we have our heading.
Little Daka
Who the Green Orcs?
Little Daka looks up and says, I'm going to stay here and wait for Spit Up.
We will go talk to the Green Orcs leader. I do not know who that is. Who leads the Green Orcs?
No one. All the guards have marched off and walked up the stairs. You're just standing with your party looking at them.
Little Daka.
No.
No, he's going to.
He's a famous figure. What do we know about Wealth?
I thought Wealth led the Red Orcs.
He leads multiple colors of orcs.
He rules the entirety of the formal Storming Empire because he decapitated the formal Storming Emperor.
They're you to fight Wealth in one-on-one combat. The level 20.
Not just the level 20. He's the one who uses the Sword of the Consumer, which Robert probably remembers very well. That item.
He can murder you right now. Really easily.
But as far as in character, what you know, Wealth is an old orc. He's past his prime, many have stated. He did it is known that he did conquer the entire nation and has been building fortifications.
Did we meet him?
Yeah, you have met him. Well, Tiktrick did. Bastion did. Sieko and Daka have not. Because Daka would have been attacked almost immediately.
The important part is Tiktrick walked in and saw him holding the skull of a general that he just killed without any injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That guy's pretty strong.
Yeah, so as far as what you know, basically is that he took over the continent, killed the original Storming Emperor, who's supposedly the strongest orc at the time, and that he has a very fiery temper, has no problem cutting down men, women, children, doesn't matter who they are, and that he's an old orc. If you would guess, by Daka standards, he'd be considered venerable at this point. He is old. He's like in his 50s, 60s age. Which, for an orc, is, almost unheard of to live that long as a, battle warrior.
That's probably not the best idea, then. We'll have to wait that one out.
Maybe.
Maybe till he dies of old age.
Well,
then we can take advantage of the chaos.
If he's old, you could kill him. I will mention that.
Yeah, but I know old people in your world.
A lot less of them these days.
And this is Wolf's old man. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
I do have his character sheet still ready to go if I need it, so...
Yeah, I don't trust it.
I mean, goblins are kind of close. The attacking army, but you said you wanted to leave them alone. We can do goblins.
I want to take their green skin. Yep, Daka wants to take their skin.
Okay.
All right.
Taking the worship north then.
As you lot kind of start gathering up your stuff, heading upstairs, Daka
We
Jr.
hunting goblins.
Daka Jr. goes and sits on the throne and kind of relaxes and chills. As you lot kind of say your goodbyes and set up the ship out in the on the outside of the city, people seem to cheer as you guys start to leave. You see like flowers are being thrown, food thrown up towards you guys, like fresh, not rotten. The ship goes up in the air and starts flying.
King Daka's a king.
Why do they throw food? It seems a bit wasteful.
About
They're giving us food.
30 minutes
amazing.
pass as you're heading north, and you suddenly hear from the captain's quarters, as you are all kind of standing out on the top deck, relaxing, doing what you do. You hear something talking. You hear a voice speaking in common. You can't make it out as it's very muffled, but you can hear it's coming from the captain's quarters.
Isn't Goji in there?
No, Goji is out with you guys relaxing.
Go check it out, guys.
Yeah.
You and me, Sieko. Let's go check it out.
As you guys open the door, you hear the news, the ending of the news. Confirmed reports that the entirety of the Orc Kingdom have sworn fealty to the House of Firecrest after meeting a terrible fate that they believed would cause the doom of their nation. And we thank you all for this story. We'll have more later on tomorrow with further information on what this terrible creature could have been.
Wait, did I just hear that my kingdom swore fealty to
You are
Hawkins?
no longer a king.
Oh man.
Your kingdom
That was a bit short-lived.
Your kingdom lasted all of an hour of in-game time.
Well, it was good. Well, hey.
You suddenly hear Daka in your head a message go, Daka Jr. for Lord! And it cuts off.
Traitor!
I knew that's where the shit was going.
Oh yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away.
And this
But Hawken is
Well, at
king
least
again!
the voice in my head is happy now.
Yeah, it's calmed down. You no longer have a headache or anything. Nothing seems to be going on as far as it goes, Bastion. You don't
Damn,
suddenly
yes.
feel the strange desires you had earlier.
Now I'm gonna have to make the goblins worship Terra.
It's gonna be really weird to Hawken when he just finds symbols of terror just kind of being distributed.
It's like, wait a minute.
To be fair, goblins traditionally go for more things like rogue because they're smaller and not as strong, so it could work.
But alright, as you guys start heading kind of north, you pass over the main mountain ranges that kind of split up what is the Orc lands, and a lot, basically the southern portion of the continent and the northern Great Desert. You pass over and you see this massive, like, long desert you can't see the end of. You see mountains, hills. Many of them seem to glitter as you pass or get closer to them in the sunlight, just giving the shine of gemstones, gold, and other rare minerals and gemstones. But you see no signs of life as you're just flying through one of the passes of the mountain range.
And I keep an eye out for caves.
Me as well. I would probably know good places for caves or exits to things, right?
Not here, you wouldn't. You'd
here.
have no idea on the topology. If you got yourself on the ground and got yourself a little more familiar with the grounds, yeah, you'd be a lot more comfortable. But from flying above and
Okay.
having no experience here before, no, you would not.
Okay.
All right, Bastion and Tater, give me perception checks.
7. I didn't see shit.
Shh, Jesus.
A 19.
Yes, that's fine. Sieko. 19. So, Bastion, you kind of start staring off. You're standing there with Tiktrick, having a casual conversation, just as you stare at the glimmering rocks. One of the gemstones kind of catches your eye, Bastion. It distracts you almost completely. You see this blackened gem that for a moment... You remember mentioning one of those books about some sort of necromancy arcane focus that helps casters? and it was noted as a black gem. But as you look at it and you get closer, you really get distracted as Tictric's kind of like watching the overall broad area. A few minutes go by, and then you realize, no, it's not that, but it's close from what you're thinking. Tictric, as you're looking about, you noticed no goblins, but one of the caves that catches your eye in one of the lower ends of the mountains, where the desert just barely is starting to kind of seep into. You can see a little bit of an opening. It may go down deeper. You can't tell from this angle being above it, but you see a blackened insectoid-looking creature with an exoskeleton.
Okay.
And with black eyes that you've never seen before, as they seem to come out, look up in your general direction, and then go back into the cave.
I'm supposed to say, black Thrycreen? Well, actually, no, Tictric's a black Thrycreen.
Yes. The different color eyes is the different part. Did you get a semblance of limbs from it? Like how
When
many
you
limbs they had?
counted 3 arms and 4 legs in total.
That's definitely different. We might be able to. There's a cave down there with bugs, not me bugs, but different bugs. You guys want to check it out? Not goblins, sadly, but it's something.
I suppose we can take a look.
Okay.
I will advance forward. Woo! Yay!
Wait, is Daka just gonna jump off?
With my rock, of course.
Okay. Yeah, you watch as Daka just kind of steps onto his rock, or throws his rock into the air, steps on it, and just starts floating down. Tictric, with your perception check, you also note that the entirety of that cave entrance is extremely booby-trapped with not only magic, but a lot of sharp objects. From what
I will
you can
quickly
tell.
message Daka. Oh, I don't know if that works on Daka. It's a
Message will not work on Daka.
Oh shit! How fast does your rock fly?
Not very. He floats at a leisure pace unless he orders
I-
it to go fast.
Can I check to see if my wings are still working?
Yeah.
Are they working?
As you turn, give me a Arcana check.
Okay. That's a 3.
You unfurl them, and you notice they are both pretty shredded from when you tried to outrun that dragon or woman earlier when you violently jumped into the air and floated and flew away.
Well, that sucks.
You could theoretically, though, from this angle, jump. You have a good chance of landing and jumping and landing on Daka's shield.
Oh no, no.
Aren't
can we catch
you
up
the
with Daka
freaking
quickly?
rogue? Aren't you supposed to be good at dex checks?
I'm afraid of your rock, dude.
I do love. Also, your rock's not very large. If he does hit you and doesn't make the save,
also
he
a
will
large
fall
creature.
to his death. The large
sure I'm
doesn't
not big.
matter. It's more of if you roll and you fail to save of when you land, you will fall off that rock and you will die from this distance. Well, you'll take up to 60 points of damage rather.
Yeah. Can we catch up to Daka? I'll yell to Daka. Daka, wait, it's booby trapped.
Daka, from you hear Tictric shout this. You're not too far from the ship as the wind is starting to pick up a little bit.
Do you still have a coconut?
Yeah.
Throw a coconut at it.
How far are we from the entrance?
60 feet from the ground, about 80 feet from the entrance, roughly. Mostly down. It's only 20 feet in front of you at max, but at the angle you figure you have a good chance of hitting it. However, whatever's inside that cave, if it's shallow, is going to die if that coconut lands on it. It's just gonna.
Do I care?
Well, that's the goal, isn't it? That's the
Luge. Thank you, Robert.
Daka, can you move away from the trajectory, please?
Yeah, sure.
I will pull out a coconut and throw it when Daka's out of the way.
All right, as Daka kind of leisurely floats to the right, you grab one of the coconuts out of your bag, and as you do, you see as you're getting ready to chuck it. Give me an athletics check.
Athletics. It's a 25.
Fucking Jesus. Yeah, as you go chuck it, as you're about to throw it, you see for just a moment, you're not sure, but did the coconut just wink at you? As it goes flying and rolling down, and you watch Daka as and Tictric as you're watching this coconut, it's just starting to get bigger and bigger and larger.
What?
And it hits and it plugs the cave, and you hear a bunch of things that spring and explode, and silence, and the coconut's just blocking the door.
I don't know what happened.
I don't think that was a vorpal coconut.
Sieko, or Chaston, would Goji just start lowering the ship for the party?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's no reason not to.
All right, no worries. Yeah. So as Goji starts orders the ship to lower, it starts to slowly lower itself down at a very leisure pace. About 5 minutes goes by and it comes to the ground. Goji lets you all get off and he deactivates the spell. Daka's just kind of standing there waiting for you guys. It takes them about 3 more minutes than it does you, Daka, to get to the ground. In that meantime, Daka, you see there's a massive burn mark on the coconut in some sort of shape of a rune. But you're not familiar enough with the rune outright to know what it is.
Is it the same rune as the one that
It is
chopped off
not.
Seika's fingers? Different. Okay.
As you look at it. Yeah.
Can I
Yep,
dump out the rest of my coconuts carefully onto the ground?
You only have 1 more, I believe.
I
Right.
have. Let me check. 6 more.
6 more. Yeah, as you carefully put them down, they each have different marks as you look at them now.
I'm gonna start chopping through the coconut.
All right. As
The big one.
With your sword, or
I'm going to take cover.
I have a great axe.
Bastion suddenly
Oh,
finds a nicely sized rock, takes cover, buckling down. And you said you're gonna use a rock, Daka?
I have a great axe.
Oh, you have a great axe. Yeah. Go ahead and make an attack there, or an attack against it.
In my new evolved body, can I be a wall to make sure fucking Tictric doesn't die if this thing explodes?
You be a
I
what?
mean, the
Be a wall?
rune's
Yeah.
burnt out, guys.
The rune is burnt out. That was a spell. It was a large spell,
To be fair,
probably.
I also don't know what's gonna happen when you break it, because something's in the cave.
22.
Yeah, as you slash at the coconut, your axe smacks it hard, slamming, making a resounding vibration throughout the entirety of the kind of dip here, this valley between these two mountains, two mountain ranges. Your entire body reverberates, Daka, and you don't make a dent on the coconut.
Wrong coconut. Could I try and figure out what runes are on these?
Yeah,
Like what they mean?
give me an Arcana check. Also, do you speak or read Gnomish?
No.
Then don't even bother giving me an Arcana check. If anybody else does, they're welcome to. But there is, unless you are an innate magic caster, arcane specifically, and you have a lot of casting capabilities, you will not recognize these spells.
Hey, Sieko, does your ring is magic, right? You're talking to somebody in that, right?
It is.
Anybody have a bow?
Daka just turned around.
I do.
looking
Hold
around.
on. I do have a bow.
Have me your bow.
Do I have a bow?
Do you
I
have
do.
a bow?
I will hand him a short bow.
Oh, that's it.
I have a short bow.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to use the short bow and combine it with my javelin to make kind of like a larger bow fire starter and start bow drill and start drilling
Into the
at the
coconut?
coconut.
All right.
Yeah.
Give me a strength check.
14.
You start kind of working the friction. A few minutes goes by, it lights, and then you watch as the coconut glows and immediately fire extinguishes.
Magic. You know, I could just dig around the coconut.
Well, you can have your bow back.
Okay.
This
Well,
doctor
that-
kind of walks over and hands the bow.
But when Tictric turned, he just sees this.
Daka, why did you
Yep.
need the bow when all you used was an arrow?
Jesus.
What?
Dude.
God damn it, Bastion.
I don't know what Basher said. I don't know what, Jasmine
I
said.
must also have the brain of talking because I did not understand that joke.
You said you took the arrow and spun it with your hand.
No,
What'd you need the bow for?
no.
He did. He
My
took the bow.
javelin.
Yeah, he took the bow and the javelin to do
Oh.
it. Yeah, okay. I thought you were trying to make a joke out of him, like turning this javelin into an arrow. I was like, okay.
I made a bow drill.
You know, that's what I thought he was gonna do at first. Was like
Yeah.
use the bow to fire a javelin, but
But yeah, no, yeah, as you all kind of look about, as Daka kind of hands Tictric back the bow, nothing seems to happen, and the wind kind of continues to, you can hear it blowing over the mountains pretty roughly, the sand not really moving much. But yeah, and there
Oh.
you can still see the glittering gemstones kind of sparkle throughout all the mountains.
Do any of the coconuts have the same room as either that one or the one that cut off Seiko's fingers?
Nope.
All different.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, are you gonna dig?
How
I'll
heavy
count.
does it look?
I mean, it's big enough to cover a 15-foot cave entrance. You know it's filled with some sort of liquid. I mean, beyond that, it's a 15-foot fucking coconut. It looks heavy to a normal person, but to you, not much.
I can
gonna-
move it. Here we go. I'll
I'm gonna
try.
carefully gather the coconuts again.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Sleight
for
of
that.
hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sleight of hand, really, not like just strength to roll it out of the way.
No, not you. Tictor.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
keep grabbing the
14.
coconut.
14. Okay. Yeah. Siako, give me a strength check.
All right, can I roll well? That's 21.
Yeah, as you go to try and get your hands underneath it and start to really lift with your knees and like push, first it's really light, and then suddenly as you start to feel it move, it gets heavier and heavier until you're being pushed into the ground by the weight.
No, I'm used to it. I'm very heavy.
It doesn't move though.
Okay, so we go back to the plan where Citrus is gonna dig around it.
But yeah, I was just doing that because he wasn't doing it.
I
So,
was going to gather coconuts first.
I
And then you
take-
decided to do
That
that.
was smart. I will note, Tictric, you notice one of the coconuts is missing.
I only gathered 5 instead of 6.
Yeah, you only find see the 5,
Oh.
and you notice the one that had a strange arrow pointing downwards on the coconut has vanished.
I like to activate my eyes to see invisibility.
Okay, as you do, you see nothing. You look around. You see the desert. You do notice a couple of the gemstones in the mountain are actually have a natural invisibility cast on them. Not because they're valuable. You just, as you notice, they seem to all be similar. So you guess that's just a particular of that gemstone.
Okay.
Nothing else.
So, lasts for an hour, by the way.
I will note, you do notice on the coconut, the big one that Sieko's currently trying to like pick up and is like kind of being pushed in the ground by. There are simple written instructions on that coconut in Gnomish, in invisible ink.
I don't know Gnomish. Can I try and figure it out?
none of us know English.
You can try and roll intelligence to see if you can guess.
Let's do it. Why not?
Too bad Daka can't attune to his the gold brain of jar because he doesn't have an attunement slots.
That's a 9.
You look it over. You know Dwarvish. Well, you've read Dwarvish. This looks similar to it. As you read it, it states, to deactivate, note, this coconut will get larger and heavier to block entrances. It is the perfect blockade coconut. It is to be noted to deactivate, and then you start to notice that this is where the Dwarvish and Gnomish don't match at all. In Dwarvish, it reads, to deactivate, all you need to do is hit the eye of the coconut that winks at you.
Okay.
And as you
That's
look, the
not
face of the
Gnomish.
coconut is in the cave. So, but yeah,
Okay.
that's all you get.
Someone took a coconut, guys. There's only 5 instead of 6.
And
I don't know. That's weird that one disappears.
no, I meant and because I don't care.
Damn.
I mean, you obviously let it roll away.
I mean, it is a coconut.
So, Tictor, can we please
Yeah, sure.
continue?
I'll dig around the coconut.
All right, as you start digging around it, kind of going up to the cave, you start digging your hands into it, and you hear something on the other side, Tictric. And you have tremor sense, don't you? Or
I
blind
do
sight?
not. I blindside.
Okay, so you won't
I have-
notice this. Sieko, you can feel someone else digging on the other side of the coconut.
Oh, they're digging towards us.
Yes.
Ooh.
And
Classic World War One tunnel digger moment.
yeah, a few minutes go by, Tictric, and you find yourself hitting a gemstone. And there's a lot of them on this wall, and there's nowhere for you to dig through. But as you look through the gemstone after about 3 feet worth of stone digging, you see there's a colony of what opens up. From what you can tell looking down the cave, there's a massive colony of what looks to be maybe some sort of thrycreen. They look like thrycreen. They may not be thrycreen, though. They are match similar to the one you saw earlier. But by your numbers, by rough counts, just from what you can see now, this cave is dark. So, and the Going off in the distance is a good, while far off, but you can just see enough to count that there's probably good thousands of Thri-kreen.
How far away? Like, do I just see them? Like,
Roughly a few miles. You can see them as you're looking through this gemstone. You're not sure why, as the other ones, as you look about, don't seem to have the same viewing capabilities, but this one specifically seems to have some sort of effect on your vision to make it more able to see farther away.
can I cast a message through to see if it'll reach one of them?
Sure.
Why are you gonna message them?
You want to get information like what
What do
they
you
are?
say?
What if they're violent, Grumpy?
What do
We're
you
already
say?
here. They already know we're here.
What do
They
you say?
do
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
That's not gonna change anything if I talk to them.
Yeah, that's gonna probably change that they're gonna come after us.
To be fair, Hunter, they're miles away, and we have an airship right here that we can just kind of.
If this magnifies vision, I'm wondering if it'll magnify a message spell.
Okay. So what do you say?
Hello.
That's it.
Who are
You
you?
fucking idiot.
Okay, that's a little rough, Cook. Come on now.
Come on, man.
Hello, who are you? Let's get it.
As you cast message, a few seconds go by and you hear confirmed target, removal of non-drone Thri-kreen. Entire hive is activating.
I am a drone
Me,
hyper
you're a
crane.
bug. You should know this.
I am
This
a
is what
drone
you hear
Thri-kreen.
back in your head, Tiktrick.
I will message again. I am a drone Thri-kreen.
Not a bad height.
Suddenly, as you say that, that Thri-kreen from before just jumps right in front of the glass, or in front of the gemstone, and looks at you, and you can see he's starting to carve, and he's cutting through the gemstones that you couldn't break earlier. And now, as you're looking around, you can see shadows in the distance coming at high rates. There's a lot of them.
I believe.
Grumpy.
What do you want me to do? Hey, man, what do you want me to do?
Not alert the hive.
You hear the coconut start to budge slightly.
Burn 'em. All.
And then,
What's all
as
blue?
Goji throws the ship to activate it and yells the command word, you all see as the coconut shrinks, and there are thousands of these Thri-kreen coming charging out with weapons.
Goji, light him on fire. Use your breath.
Oh.
Send him to hell.
He can't for 10 more days.
No.
All right, Justin, you have a firebolt. You might be able to light someone on fire. Right?
I'll tell you, it's just fire bolt. The only big AoE thing I have to hit them all is a poison breath, and if they're bugs, which I have to make the guess, because all I know about these things is that Grumpy is immune to poison. So
I know a great thing to use
They
against
start
insects is
chucking
fire.
spears, and you watch as your ship starts getting, and these spears start landing and burrowing into the ship.
Does our ship have weapon capabilities or no?
It
Oh.
does.
here's the cannons.
It does have cannons.
The
They are not magical. You have to load them and run them yourself.
Let's
there's
go!
golems. You said there's golems on the ship.
There are golems, yeah. The golems cannot run the cannons. They can't aim.
Yeah,
don't
that
need
was
to.
the only thing they couldn't do.
Yeah, they
That's
can't.
fine.
Yeah, as you guys start running onto the ship, you see as one of the Thri-kreen, similar to Tiktrick, he has 4 arms but 2 legs, and you assume being him just by the fact that he's the same size as Tiktrick. His eyes being this kind of a greenish and then switch to different colors as he blinks. And he speaks out in a strange language that you don't recognize at all, any of you. But Tiktrick, in your head, you hear the words, "Run, the hive doesn't understand."
Hold on. Run, the hive doesn't understand.
In other words, they don't know what you're saying. They just think you're an enemy.
Okay.
And you see is this, what you assume is a Thri-kreen standing on the ship,
Okay.
basically yelling this.
This
but the
guy
rest don't
gets
seem
it.
to
He's not
understand.
attacking us, but the rest of the hive is.
And he's like you see him waving his hands up onto the ship to try and get your attention.
Don't shoot. Don't fire. I tell them, don't fire. They're confused. They don't know that we're not enemies. Get out of the area so they don't hurt us and we don't hurt them.
That's not
This guy gets it.
As you guys all
Pointing
climb
at him.
onto the ship, Sieko, as you look at this guy, you feel this guy seems weird. Something is off, Sieko. When you see this Thri-kreen, in a sense, you're each of you with your primal awareness, being monsters, you can tell something's wrong with this Thri-kreen, and that he's definitely a threat. But you don't know why, and you can't figure it out because nothing on him physically is at all threatening to any of you. He looks to be basically what would be similar to Tictric being a second evolution of his or third evolution of his race. He is considered would be considered a powerful being in his hive, but this guy doesn't give off the same thing Tictric does to the rest of you. Most of you don't see Tictric as an immediate threat to any of you in physical capabilities. This guy, for some reason, does. But as each of you climb onto the ship, he just kind of like gets ready, and like you see him get like a little like knife in his hand that has a strange green gem that seems to like start to leak a blue liquid in his hand, and he waits at the ladder in case any of them start climbing up.
Is there anyone invisible around?
As you look about,
see invisibility eyes.
Nope, you don't see anybody.
Okay, just chicken.
I'll have Goji start to raise the ship, but I'm watching this guy.
Yep, same.
I don't see
starts
anything
to
weird about him,
raise.
right? He just seems like a.
Just seems like a
Thri-kreen.
Thri-kreen with extra arms.
extra
Does he
arm.
look
These
the
days, four.
same through tremor sense? Because that wouldn't be blocked by illusions.
No, he does not.
That's what I thought.
Give me a second.
What is he?
I think blindsight also sees through illusions anyway.
It does, but not to what this person's.
I
doing.
get a very
It's not an
precise
illusion
hit.
spell.
It's a very direct sight.
Yeah, it's not an illusion spell. Is what is going on. That's something similar to that, but larger and bigger, like heavier.
Oh fuck no! Get this thing the fuck off my ship.
It's not on the ship, is it?
He's standing up the ladder, ready to go, holding,
Hey.
like keeping the Thri-kreen from getting on train. And they, as you notice, as he kind of takes a position, they stop and start to back away back into the cave.
Stieko is growling at this guy.
Circo, what's going on?
Not a bug. Not a bug. Not a bug. Enemy wants to kill us.
It continues to clitter and clack as it makes sounds that only Tictric understands, as it explains, I am so what you hear, Tictric, the rest just hear this strange like insect clittering, clacking of noises of their mandibles. But what you hear is specifically, and Bastion, you actually catch this as well, given your race. It says, I am one of the Thri-kreen's race. I was taken advantage of, unfortunately, from a powerful magic caster, and my form isn't correct to those who who cannot see the mortal plane.
Are you an enemy?
What is an enemy? As it kind of looks back at you
What'd
as the
you
ship as the ship starts to raise up and you're no longer in immediate danger, it kind of sheathes its dagger and it goes, "What is an enemy?"
I did not hear what you said. You cut out a little bit.
You're cutting in and out,
Am I
Mr.
cutting
DM.
out like crazy? Let me look.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just for a second.
Okay.
were.
It says, "What is an enemy?"
Someone going to hurt us? I gestured to everyone on the ship except him.
It looks at each of them and sees Sieko growling and goes, "I have no intentions of harm, but I will fight back and will emerge victorious if one of you tries to attack me."
Can I insight that?
Go ahead.
Insight. It's a 16.
Give me 1 second.
He's lying. He actually has no intention of fighting at all.
Well, that'd be best case scenario.
He said he doesn't have any intention of fighting
That
unless he's attacked.
he seems to be telling the truth.
Okay. Sieko, I don't think he's going to attack us unless we attack first.
Sieko just seems to go quiet.
Dieko's made his decision, man. He's just watching. He's not moving, but he wants him off the ship.
You know,
Thank you for your
Daka's
help.
never-
But could you please get off the
Daka's
ship?
never been. Yeah, you know, I don't think we're in the position to ask that of him.
The Thri-kreen looks at you and goes, "You want me to leave?"
Are we
Well, do you want us to take you?
You don't
anywhere?
understand this, Daka, neither does Sieko. Only Bastion and Tigrick can understand what this creature keeps saying. You just hear clicking.
Is the hive around us retreated or what? We're in the air now, right?
Yeah, you're in the air flying.
Are they still trying to attack us, or are they
You
just
don't.
chilling?
You saw them as soon as this Thrycreen got near the ladder to block their way. Those Thrycreen retreated back into the cave immediately.
Yeah. He asking if we want him to leave everyone. Yes or no?
Does he need to go anywhere? Does he need us to take him somewhere?
I'd like him to leave.
Jack wants him to leave. Bastion, what do you want?
I'd like to know more.
No more? Well, if you were a changed form, then what are you? If you're not a true Thrycreen?
It pauses, and you can see the rest. All of you just kind of see as the body kind of relaxes into a more comfortable stance, and it kind of puts its hand, if you will, its claw up to its chin, right underneath its mandibles, and starts to kind of like stroke what would be a chin if there was one, which is very humanoid. You all note.
Yeah.
You've never seen Tigrick do something like this, or any other Thrycreen, and it speaks up and goes. What I am is unexplainable in the languages I can currently communicate in.
You can message. Can you explain it that way?
It takes a minute and looks about for a second, thinks. And then it starts to rub its hands together, and you see magic start to sparkle. And suddenly a little, like, picture kind of pops up in its hands as it's casting some strange magic, and it shows you a really large white mountain, and it turns and then kind of points to the mountain you see off in the distance, and then pulls out of a little like bag that you suddenly notice it's carrying, a bag of holding 100 gold coins, and it just kind of sets them down on the deck and kind of puts its bag of holding back on its hip, and then it just disappears again, and it looks back up at you.
You know what? I have for this. DM, in Code Thoughts,
Yeah.
would it let me show my memory to other people? Because it is literally me pulling a memory out of my head.
Yeah, theoretically, you'd have a general image. I mean, it would be rough, but they'd get the general idea.
But could I show what you sent me on that image?
Something similar in shape, yeah, it'd be basically
That's all.
get.
That's all I would need. So Sieko will put his ring, it is through the ring, to his forehead, and he'll slowly pull out this silvery strand, and kind of make this image.
You all hear in Dwarvish, ew! And then it goes quiet as this memory is pulled out of Sieko's head. And you all see, Sieko, do you want to paste it?
I will paste it. Absolutely. Fucking, this is what Sieko fucking
Oh
sees.
god.
This is what he sees.
As Sieko kind of pulls this out, you will note that the image seems to kind of be distorted. You keep seeing it get larger and bigger than what Sieko is showing you. Most of you don't seem to understand why as Sieko's kind of pointing this out. It's almost as if the image you're seeing from Sieko's thoughts aren't perfect, but display a rough idea of what you're looking at.
Do I know what that is?
Give me a history check with advantage.
Creature?
That's a. I rolled double 16.
Oh yeah, these
That's
things
17.
they favor Thrycreens. That's a purple worm. They love the taste of Thrycreen, especially Thrycreen queens, and their hive sacs, because they're really rich in nutrition. And yeah, these things. Now, small ones of these are considered to be dangerous to multiple hives to take one down. What Sieko is showing you based on what you're seeing this image distorting, this thing is like 10 times the size of what you're used to. This is a
Tremors,
massive
everybody.
creature, huh? Yeah. Welcome to Tremors. We're going to make 10 movies of this.
I agree with Sieko now. I would like you to leave.
I mean, what? We can take him to the top of the mountain.
But this is where
It shakes its head and points to the bottom of the mountain, that big mountain off in the distance that you see, the really large white one.
Why do you want to go there?
It takes a minute and kind of stops and looks at Tigrick and goes, and it starts chittering again, and you hear, I have my reasons. I will not harm you or anybody that's traveling on this ship so long as you take my payment and drop me off. If you do not wish to let me or to fly me there, then I will stay here. And you hear the voice sounds almost common for a moment in your head, Tick, as the language seems to slightly change.
All right, I guess we could take him there.
Okay.
I like to put the bet stands that this
I'd
is
say
one.
it's the least we can do.
What was that, Sieko?
I would like my bet to stand that we are currently causing a world-ending event. However,
We don't care.
we should, but you know,
We should.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of goes back to the front of the ship, sits down, and just closes its eyes as it watches the distance to give you guys your space and let you collect the coin that it left on the floor or on the top of the ship. And it just kind of sits there, relaxing, not doing anything.
What is it? 25 for each of us?
Not counting Goji.
It's 20 each if you want to count Goji.
Man, Daka, even when Goji's not here.
I think Goji as a character is still with us. He's standing like right next to me.
as Daka says this.
I know what I said.
I will fight to give Goji 20. Don't make me do it. I'm not saying it in character. I'm just saying.
Hey, listen, you know?
I'm on Daka's side.
I will throw both of you off the ship, and I have the strength to do it.
I don't know. By the way, why do we make Goji the captain again of this ship?
He had a
no one
good
else-
spot.
Yeah, the attunement slot was the issue.
No one else had an open slot.
Okay.
He had to do it.
So is the ship just going to start flying towards the northern mountain?
I guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
All right, what? 20 each?
Yep,
Yeah.
20 gold each. Do you want to mention that to Goji
I'll-
as well?
I'll-
Yeah, if you want to
I'll
give it to him. All right. As you lot start flying, continuing at your speed, about 3 hours go by, and you finally see the mountain getting closer, and the Thrycreen suddenly, out of like absolute stillness, just kind of stands up and comes walking back over to the rest of the party. Those few who would stay up on the top deck, and not those who would be down below in their individual rooms. I don't know how on what's it called, on the edge the whole party is with this creature kind of sitting on the ship. But
I'm very.
Yeah, I'm cool with this guy.
Sieko's thoughts
It's
are...
just another Tuesday for Bastion.
at this point,
No.
fair.
Sieko's watching, because thoughts are he can't win, but there's a chance if he attacks, he can knock him off the ship.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, as you guys continue heading over,
I want
you
to
ki-
drink with it.
It kind of stands up and it comes walking over and it introduces itself finally to the whole party, and it says its name is Cataclysm, as it introduces itself in Thrycreen. And then it looks at the rest of the party waiting for you guys to kind of acknowledge, and you see it for a second like shake its head and kind of smack its antenna lightly, and it kind of switches over and starts speaking common, very rough common, but just enough to get the words out. And it goes, "You help Mountain."
How?
We help Mountain.
Yeah, I'm asking,
How so?
how do we help Mountain?
It kind of looks about at the ground for a second, like it's looking for something in its mind. It looks up and goes,
Kill Goblin?
and as Daka says it, it points to him and goes, "Yes, and it takes a second, kind of looks down at the ground again as it's like trying to move its hands, casting a minor
I love this
illusionary
game.
spell. And you see this illusionary spell suddenly turns into what looks to be a dragon, like a baby dragon or a wormling. And it goes, it kind of shows this and says, "Hunt. Food."
Food for you? Is this dragon food for you, or like do we give it food?
It nods its head, yes, as you've mentioned it eating it. And it looks at you and goes, "You?" And it kind of like, it pauses and starts to like shake its hands again. And you see the magic suddenly appear again. And you see like dragon scales, teeth, bones. And it goes, and it points to the image and like points back to Daka.
We keep those.
And it
I
nods.
Ooh.
I'm fine with that.
It looks
What
at you
was I
all
gonna
again and
say?
goes, and he walks over to Daka, because seeing Sieko still very wary of it, it kind of walks up to Daka and puts its hand out in front of it, Daka, like, up towards his face, and just holds his hand there, flat.
I'll put my hand on top of his hand.
It shakes your hand away, walks over to Bastion and, with a sigh, and just holds its hand out in front of Bastion's face.
Oh, am I supposed to put your head to his hand, I guess?
Bastion.
I won't do that.
Alright. As you do, Bastion, an image just floods in of this massive waterfall at the top of the mountain that if it is drained, as it shows like a drain at the bottom of the water, or at the bottom of the pool of water at the top of the mountain, where the waterfall's feeding into, it shows the water kind of traveling through caves, and it shows a bunch of red dragons with like little fires on their tail, and then they go out and they just roll over and look like they're dead. It's like as if you got like a children's imagery of a plan on how to kill dragons with water. As it tries to give you this image, and it looks at the rest of the party and points to Bastion.
No.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Charizard.
Chasta, we're killing Charizard.
No.
Well, I think it wants us to drain the waterfall in this mountain.
Why?
Where is it?
I can drain water. Drop me on it.
Where is it?
It
In
points
this mountain.
to the top of the mountain, and you see where the peak is. There's a little bit of a peak with water coming into it, and a massive pool of what you notice is, from this distance, you just see water that's kind of bubbling every once in a while.
I'll look at the Thrycreen. I'll salute. Yes, sir. And I will. Phew.
It clicks
He's
at you.
gone.
Looks back at Tictric, and back in its chittering as it looks to Tictric and Bastion, it goes, it starts speaking again, and goes, does it always do that?
Yes.
It nods.
Unfortunately.
It turns and looks to Sieko and waits to see how Sieko responds as well, as he nods to Bastion.
Sieko's getting Goji to fly near the top because I'm going to jump into the water to make it drain.
All right. You watch as Daka just goes flying off. The ship starts to kind of rise higher and higher as you lot come together. Daka, you get there a few minutes ahead of the ship as they're still raising up to get up to a proper level with it. As you get closer, give me a con save.
Okay. That is a 20.
All right. As this strange, almost like green gas you see is coming out of these bubbles of this liquid that kind of explodes and then dissipates. The smell is very faint, Daka, but for a moment, the air in your lungs vanishes, almost as if you can't breathe and you feel yourself start to choke, and then the cloak starts to glow again and you start to be able to breathe and relax again.
Spells. All right, then. Doesn't seem to be anything of concern. Onwards.
All right, as you continue to fly, the rest of you, as you're getting closer, you can see this. This is a massive mountain. The pool itself that this Thrycreen was pointing out is could probably fit about 5 ships of your ship in it. From like the width and length of it. You have no idea the depth of it, but you do see the little mountain peak off to the side of it that has water kind of coming, or liquids coming out of it. That's this like greenish water. And you see as Daka's kind of just standing down there. For the rest of you, you see Daka's cloak is glowing brightly and keeps pulsating. Daka, nothing's going on. It's just a normal day for you as you're looking down at the boiling water.
I'm gonna explode.
The ship.
I just casually say.
The ship continues to get closer and closer until it stops. Everyone make a con save except for Bastion, who doesn't have to because of his fiendish background.
Whoa.
Save.
Uh-huh.
+5 from Sieko, right?
Sure.
It is, yeah. 27.
Jesus.
19.
Jesus.
I have a +11.
And Bastion doesn't have to, and neither does that Thrycreen. Yeah, you all, as you start to breathe in, and you feel the burning on your lungs for a moment, as if the oxygen in your lungs is like trying to burn its way out of your mouth. And for a moment, it's almost as if your entire insides is on fire, and then it relaxes and calms. As you see the Thri-kreen suddenly cast some sort of strange spell around you lot. And it just kind of looks about as it looks down, and you see this like bubble has now kind of surrounded the ship. Daka, who's still just standing out there glowing like a fucking
waving
Christmas
I'm
light.
gonna wave to him.
The ship kind of comes to like the edge of the mountain and kind of gets close enough to where you guys could jump off or take the ladder down onto the thing, and it just stops moving. And the Thri-kreen kind of walks off and kind of looks up at Sieko and Goji, who I assume are going to raise the ship higher so Sieko can get a running dive.
Yeah.
Bastion and Tictric, do you get off on the side, or are you going to ride up with them and watch from the top as Sieko jumps?
I'm gonna watch from the top.
Yeah, I'll get on the side with Daka.
Okay.
I'm watch from the top in case it splashes all over us.
Yeah, the Thri-kreen's going to go stand next to Daka and Bastion as it watches, and it starts to speak in very broken comment and goes, splash, cover. And it puts like its hands in front of its face.
I guess I'll put the shield in front of me a little bit. Yeah. My 300-pound rock shield.
The ship starts to slowly float up. About a few seconds go by, and you can barely now see the ship. Sieko, you can see the pool of water. You'd guess it's probably 100 feet below you right now.
Immunity!
Are you just gonna jump off the side and do a nosedive?
Yeah. We'll see
I
how
have a
well he
question.
dives.
What is the height that Sieko has to be for water to actually do harm to him when he strikes the surface because of the water tension?
100.
Joke's on you, I'm immune to force.
He is immune to force damage technically, but so he'd have to double it to take piercing, slashing. Well, technically it'd be bludgeoning damage at that point. Magical
I'm
bludgeoning.
immune to that too.
It'd be magical bludgeoning for the situation, but he'd have to double the feat he was up for his body to actually take damage. Basically, Sieko is currently a walking tank. Is the best.
Everyone
way to
gets to
explain
watch a 10-foot tall crystal dragon
Hey.
thing.
it. All right.
What's your form? How good your
Yeah,
form?
give me how are you jumping? Well, let's see what check you got to make.
This is
Do
just
a
a
belly
big
flop.
cannonball. I want to athletics this all the way.
Oh, you're just gonna jump off?
This is a cannonball straight to
You're not gonna do a dive? Oh.
No, I am not dexterous.
Give me well, cannonball is a dive. It's a form of dive, and it is recognized. So that's an acrobatics check.
God damn, it's just me curling up.
It is, but that is technically a diving way to dive because you have to know how to curl your ass so it doesn't land water
belly flop
first.
if I have to.
Well, the biggest issue as a cannonball is you don't want to get a water fucking colonoscopy because that's basically what you're about to get if you do a cannonball. You will take damage from that.
What form?
Do a... Cameron's here.
Yeah, Cameron's in the chat. He's been hanging out with me. I mean,
I'm not doing.
Cameron
I'll
did invent this encounter for you guys. I will let you know.
I'll just go head first.
Okay.
Fucking.
So this is Cameron's. Copy that.
And he's whispering sweet nothings into my ear about the what to do in the background. So be afraid.
Sounds okay.
All right, you're just gonna go straight dive. Okay, give me an
Yep.
athletics check.
Thank you, Robert.
31.
As you kind of start to get a jog going slowly, because you're not a fast creature, but the like hopping jumps makes the entire ship kind of bounce up and down. You're not affected as Tictric, actually Tictric and Goji. Well, Goji won't have to because he'll be holding onto the ship. Tictric, give me a dex save with
Dex save.
advantage because you know it's
Well-
gonna happen.
Every time I hit, I can see the entire ship because of Tremors.
Yeah.
17.
Okay, you're fine. Yeah, as you start to like jog, hitting it, causing the ship to bounce, you all watch from below as the ship's just slightly moving up and down. And suddenly, for a second, you all watch as from Tictric and Goji's point of view, you just watch as Sieko just run and jumps off, just going straight down and disappears off the side of the ship. Bastion, Daka, and the Thri-kreen kind of just standing there for a few seconds, nothing, and then you start to hear a whistle in the distance. It gets louder and louder and louder until boom, something smacks the water, causing it to explode outward, causing the mountain to slightly explode out. You hear crumbling rocks off to the side as the waterfall side of itself completely, now with Sieko embedded into the stone, kind of falls off and starts to landslide down to the ground. The water goes into the hole that Sieko made and goes out the side. and you just hear the loudest fucking roar you've ever experienced. And the mountain starts to move.
So did
That's a
Sieko
big
miss?
mistake.
Sieko, you find yourself standing in a large open area. It's very wet, and as you sense around you, everything around you is living. Something's moving, and you feel your feet are tingling. You take 5 points of acid damage.
Okay.
You just punched into its stomach.
Probably.
And you hear the roar echo throughout Sieko. And first few seconds kind of go by, and then all of you suddenly find yourself standing back on the ship heading towards the mountain, with the Thri-Kreen sitting at the front of the ship, as you're all just watching as the mountain is in front of you. And you get the strangest feeling of deja vu. Everyone give me a wisdom save.
That was from Wolf's game.
Is this like the from Wolf's freaking out?
Nope, this is not.
Oh,
So wisdom save, you
Yeah.
said?
5.
5,
23.
okay.
Or
And 18. Oh, wow. Yeah, as you all suddenly, except for Bastion, remember that you've done this before. And the Thri-Kreen looks just as confused as it looks over at the mountain.
Onward! Meow!
Hold on.
I saw it again.
Do you guys think this just happened? Or is it just me?
I could have sworn I.
I don't remember anything.
As you look down,
What would-
Sieko, your feet are still burnt.
Oh. It did happen.
You all see Sieko does actually look down for the first time. Still a cloak over his eyes, and he's still blind, but somehow he still looked down as you see Daka just take off on his tower shield to the, flying off in the distance.
Was that like...
Hey, I don't remember what happened, so...
No, everyone... Oh, yeah, because Daka got a 4, because Bastion got a 5, so you wouldn't either yet.
What?
Is the ship flying back towards the mountain?
Yep, you're back to where you were about 5 minutes ago, roughly what you can guess.
I'm going
I
to
think-
disembark and stand next to Daka again.
Okay.
So when do you get there?
I think the creature didn't like me going through it.
No. Wait, there's a creature? Oh, what is a giant roar?
I
Wait, this...
think the mountain.
I'm going to look at
creature.
the purple orb and be like, this is the whole mountain's a dragon?
He's taking a long time to jump, Daka.
No, you are all about 5 minutes before you got to the mountain, so Daka's flown off, you're still
We're
standing on the
flying
ship.
off again.
Yeah.
Doggo can move very fast on his
yeah.
rock.
The Thri-Kreen kind of looks over at you lot and kind of goes, no, not, and looks to Tick-Trick again, trying to get him to say that word again.
Dragon.
Yes, that it points to you. Not mountain.
Can you not
Is
say the word
mountain-
dragon?
We're also supposed to help the mountain, not put a hole in it.
And we had to drain the bottom. I made a drain hole.
You crashed through it. Not
I
opened
made a
it.
drain hole.
A few minutes go by as you guys are having this conversation, and the ship gets close to the mountain again, and you see the water once more. As Goji just seems to go about as normal. As you see,
know-
Daka's just been waiting there for a few minutes as Bastion jumps off and starts kind of talking
This
to
is-
Daka.
It probably remembers us well, and it's probably prepared for us, and it's probably a bad idea. We should probably get away from this thing,
Yeah,
because it's probably going to attack us.
Well,
So we gotta open the, we've got to open the drain at the bottom of this, right?
Tick-Trick, I don't think they remember.
I don't think they do either.
I'll go do that right quick.
Alright, I'm just gonna disembark then. I guess it
Okay.
doesn't want me jumping through it this time.
Daka,
swim,
you're gonna
swim.
jump in the water.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a
I would
constitution.
also like to step off into the water. And I'm a bottom treader, so I sink straight down.
Yes. Let me check. Are you immune or resistant? I don't think you are. You are resistant. Well, shit. So nothing happens as Bastion just drops in. You all just see as his skin kind of becomes redder and redder and redder, and he starts to kind of emit steam off of his body. Daka, give me a con saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh. I don't like that.
I'm just gonna
Boiling water.
That's 11.
You take 15 points of fire damage as you are starting to slowly boil alive as you feel.
Ow, I'll get out of the water. That hurt.
You turn and swim back. You all just see the burn marks over all of Daka's arms. Anything that wasn't covered by cloth is currently burnt.
test
the
the
water
water?
is
Bastion
hot.
just sinks to the bottom of the water. Bastion, as you get to the bottom, you see there's a cork with a chain. Well, not a cork, rather, but a rock that's blocking the
Yield
drain.
plug.
Yeah.
Yield butt
Yield.
plug.
Oh,
I'm going to unplug the drain.
Okay. As you walk over, you start to pull on trains. Give me a strength save or strength check. Let's see what you can do.
By the way, is my cloak still going crazy?
It is.
That's a 15.
Yeah, you start to pull. It doesn't budge.
can I test the water? See if it burns me.
So
too?
I
Yeah.
take that the heat from the water wasn't caused by magic then, or is not
Correct.
as a result of a spell.
Correct.
It's just really hot water.
Yeah, go ahead, Ticktrick, and give me a con save at
I
disadvantage.
am resistant to fire.
Okay, so give me a con save.
I am double resistant to fire.
Still give me
If
a
that
con
matters.
save.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was just making sure. That's a 6.
Hot spring. Yeah, you stick your finger in, you take 1 point of damage, it burns your finger.
all right, I'm immune to fire. I can do this. Hold on.
I say
him out of
Bastion's just down there kind of trying to pull the plug out, so...
Yeah, but
Hasn't
Can
come
I
back
use
up.
this regular scimitar to see if I can pry it out?
Yeah, sure. And then after that, we'll get to you in a sexy echo.
Is that an attack roll?
That would be another strength check. I'll give you advantage, though.
Okay. Yikes. That is a 11.
Yeah, as you're trying to push it, it doesn't seem to budge, and the scimitar doesn't break, thankfully, but you definitely do see it's kind of crooked. As you hear the splash from above, and you see the incoming Sieko just floating down.
yeah.
Sieko, all you see is Bastion's like really struggling with this plug.
I'll go grab the plug as well and motion like together strong.
Okay. All right.
Also pull with him.
Both of you give me strength checks with advantage. Let's see what you got.
27.
13.
Okay. Yeah, as you pull the plug, suddenly the water starts to drain, and you hear a massive roar again, suddenly going off, and you all find yourselves back on the ship. Give me wisdom saving throws again. See if you remember it.
I don't remember anything. this
Nope.
time.
27.
Yep.
That's a 3. I still don't remember shit.
Daka, you succeeded this time. The DC's only
All right.
10, guys. So
All right, this time Siego's gonna say, "Wait,
Oh,
wait."
I mean,
as you find
with
yourselves back
Sieko's
on the
bonus,
ship.
it's above a 10.
Yeah.
That's strange.
As you find yourselves back on that ship again, with coming towards the mountain.
Siego's just like, "All right, everyone stop."
So we just
Okay.
need to pull the drain, right, guys?
No, wait. We have gone through this twice now.
The fuck
You don't
talking
remember.
about?
I don't know why.
Third time's the charm, as they always say.
No,
No,
both
Daka.
times we made the water flow down. Both times it screamed and we reset. It doesn't want the water to be drained.
The Thread King kind of looks up at you and it starts jittering to Ticktrick and Bastion again and goes, "Water on mountain, no good. Water at bottom of mountain is what we want."
Okay.
Hey, to the bottom! Meow!
The bottom, I guess.
To the bottom.
Gone.
You watch Daka get that shield and just flies off. Few
What
minutes.
is thing?
Huh?
I'm like, what is thing? A giant kappa? That's fucking brain water up there? Fucking.
A few minutes go by. The ship comes to the the bottom of the mountain, and you see hot springs kind of all around this mountain. Shiny gemstones, metals you've never seen. Bastion, you reckon this is a mecca of metals. Like this is a wet dream for most blacksmiths as you're looking around, recognizing a lot of these given your racial background.
With my
Find the
background
Bananium Bastion.
with my dwarf friend, we said we
You
mined
read my
for
mind.
You would
gems. Any gems look good?
You would recognize some of these gemstones as extremely valuable, most of these ranging in the tens of thousands of gold pieces. But you notice the bigger gems seem to come from inside the cave. And they... I will also mention, Sieko, with
Yep.
your tremor sense, you can give me a perception check with advantage to see if you can figure out what's going on.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't think we should take anything from this mountain yet, as he doesn't
16.
like when we do things to it, apparently.
No, I'm pretty sure everything here is part of its body.
That mountain, the whole mountain is a giant creature. This entire field of hot springs is also a massive creature. It's not moving, though, and it doesn't seem awake.
No one touch anything. No
Why?
taking gems, no nothing. It's all part of the body.
You just see the Thri-Kreen just kind of look at you a lot and kind of starts walking into the cave entrance by itself.
Yeah, we can walk in. I'm saying let's do anything now.
Daka just starts
Doc
jogging
is charging.
off.
Alright.
Siako's
hate
giving
this.
his warning and Daka just... Okay.
I'm very skeptical. I'm following with Daka and the Thri-Kreen.
Okay.
Siako, should we leave?
Goshi's
You
just
know-
kind of waving from the ship.
I really thought about it, but we're
This
not.
thing's scary.
It's just stay behind me. I'm tall
I
enough
think,
now.
I think the purple worm's more scary, to be honest, but
Yeah, but if we left now, you guys would have to deal with it.
hey, you're the ones turning your backs on him.
It's scary. We'll walk in.
I'm gonna have a new friend.
Goji's gonna
I
stay
don't-
on the ship for the time being as he just kind of watches and keeps it ready for a quick escape.
Goji, read some books while he's sitting there.
Yeah, I'll give Goji the chance to roll for an intelligence check later to see if he can raise his intelligence at all. As you lot are starting to follow in, Daka and Bastion being the first two in front, followed a couple minutes behind by Sieko and Tikdrik. Within eyesight of each other, the cave, as soon as you enter Daka and Bastion, you see as the Thri-Kreen snaps their fingers and the torches on the wall that were for a moment dormant suddenly light up and the entire cave starts to sparkle. It is
That's
bright.
great.
It is gorgeous. It's like the starry night. If it was all like right in your face. The different castings of the lights make it play and dance.
Dum 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 dum.
As you I was gonna say, and then Daka's music continues to echo throughout the entirety of the cave.
I think we're in the Hall of the Mountain King, boys.
So
I
that's
will
what I
note,
feel that the classical music was playing.
Tikdrik, Sieko, and Bastion, Daka's music is intensely sounding more like it's a very anxious in its pace. It's very fast. It's very almost as if someone's running from something. Like this is something a soundtrack for someone who's scared.
Guys, I don't
Sieko,
really
who
like
likes
this.
music, this thing's a really annoying noise.
Hey, at least my music is essentially a sign of what's possibly to come. It's a danger sense of me, kinda.
Yeah, as you
We've
guys
had a
can-
game going for the past 30 minutes.
I will note, as you guys are walking, Daka's cloak is getting brighter and bright. It continues, and then it just goes purple for a moment, and then white. And you just see the entire fur changes from that purplish color it normally is in its dormant form to almost this completely just white, and it fully covers his entire body now. No, you can't see anything but Daka's arms and his head at this point that isn't covered by this cloak.
I think that cloak knows what's happening.
And the Thri-Kreen kind of turns and looks at Daka and then looks back at Tikdrik and looks over at Bastion and whispers into Bastion's ear something. I'm going to message you real quick.
Can I try and roll to hear what he's saying?
Sure.
Perception. Right, perception.
That's correct.
Sleight of ear?
Sleight of ear, 22.
God damn it. Okay. I will send you what you hear momentarily.
We'll also activate see invisibility again, just in
Okay.
case.
And then this is all. Oh well, you didn't get the stars in there, but that's all you catch on to. The two words around the bolded word are you don't catch. But yeah, Bastion, you just kind of hear this whispered into your ear as the Thri-Kreen continues to follow down the tunnel.
Interesting.
A few minutes go by, and you find yourselves standing what looks to be in the cab opens up to a dining hall. The table being extremely long, already set with different foods, different drinks. Candles. You see suits of armor kind of lining up against the walls, drapes with some sort of weird insignia mark on them. And as you lot kind of take a second to look around at everything, here, 1 sec. Let me just find what I'm looking for. The music on Daka goes dead silent.
Oh,
And
Good.
there's nothing invisible around.
As you look around, you don't see anything.
no
How did
goblins.
you turn it off, Daka?
Turn what off?
Your music.
Oh, that. I thought that was in my head this whole time.
No, it's very loud and very annoying.
Oh. Well, still played in my head.
The Thrakreen just kind of sits down in one of the wooden chairs as it pulls it out for a second, and just kind of patiently waits, and just sits there.
Why are you doing this? I'm asking him.
I guess I'll sit down.
It turns and suddenly, in perfect common, speaks. I'm waiting for the master of the house.
I'll sit next to the purple worm that I don't know is a purple worm.
All right. As you sit down, suddenly a bunch of meat appears in front of you on the plate.
I love this place.
And
You
you all watch it. Standing there as Daka just starts chowing down, the Thrycreen continues to just stare at its plate, waiting. What do the three of you want to do?
I'm not
Alright.
touching the chairs.
We have to go kill a dragon, right?
Daka suddenly turns, looks at the rest of the party, and you hear from a distance, "Oh, is that so?"
I mean, do we? Wait, who?
As
What?
the doors
That's what I
open
was-
up, and in comes a red orc who's about 15 feet tall. He comes in hitting kind of towards the close of the doorway. He seems to be kind of skinny, with strange markings all over his body, like tattoo ink markings that none of you recognize. Tiktrick, you do notice only Tiktrick in this case. Bastion you would because of your studies. Bastion and Tiktrick, you would recognize that the tattoos are arcane spells. You just don't know what they are.
Okay.
And shaved head, big tusks kind of coming out of its mouth. It's skinny though, and it just kind of walks in and kind of like smiles, a big toothy smile. Each of you can feel this is definitely, this creature is the best way to be put it is, imagine if you were a CR 1/8 monster, commoner, walking into a fight with a CR 30 a dragon. That would be the equivalent of what you're feeling right now.
Oh, this one must be very quick. He's red.
The orc kind of just sits down gracefully and slowly and like waves its hand and looks at each of you and goes, "Please," and you each hear this in your native tongue, suddenly in your heads. Have a seat, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, it makes sense if the orc speaks orc. That's, you know.
He just kind
Due
of
to
Go ahead.
being around the orc lands and all of that, would I know anything about this giant red orc?
He's too fucking large to be a red orc, and he's definitely way too powerful to be a red orc.
Well, you said he looked like one, though.
Yes, he physically appears to be similar to be a very skinny, tall red orc. From what you know about red orcs, without a history check, tall is pretty common. Skinny is a death sentence. Red orcs live by physical ability, even more than Daka's own primal orcs. That is one thing, and it is very well known that they ate an entire battalion of well-armored, with very potent magic item dwarven warriors, and then sent the boat back for seconds, is a common story.
You seem awfully small to be an orc.
He's very tall.
And he looks at Sieko as he smiles and goes, Do not worry, these chairs are designed specifically for larger creatures. If I can't break them, I doubt you will be able to. So please, enjoy yourself. And he looks back to Bastion and goes, what I am is hard to explain in your tongue. And he kind of yawns.
I'll speak to him in Infernal. I'll be like, well, any better in this one?
Immediately switches to Infernal. All the rest of you still hear it in your own native languages. And it goes, languages of your level are not of any trouble to me. My existence and name have been lost to your book, so I doubt my name would be of much value. The best I can answer your question is this is not me. This is my avatar. This is a being in which I crafted through Golemancy to use to represent myself in a way that is accessible to mortals. Although rare is it that anybody comes this far north into some of the old Goblin Warlord territories, as well as some of the very dangerous Thrycreen hives around here. Man-eating Thrycreens, as they're called. But I digress, and he kind of ushers again for you all to take a seat. I will not speak any further until each of you take a seat. You do not have to eat if you do not wish. I understand your wariness, but I do require that no man stands above me.
I will sit
Doc
down.
could be chowing down.
I will hesitantly sit down.
Okay. Sieko.
Yeah, I will.
As you pull the chair out, it holds. It's a wooden chair, and it holds your body weight. Doesn't creak as you pull it in. It doesn't seem to shatter or anything. And he looks at each of you and goes, "Thank you. It's much more relaxing, I think, to talk around a table. You may join me in food or drink. I've had it magically prepared for each of you to your individual tastes. Minus your compatriot, of course," as he looks over towards the Thrycreen. If I may I ask what you seek this far north as creatures of being? I can recognize the smell of one of my kin on one of you, but you do not seem like dragon slayers.
This one here wanted to go up here. We do not know why.
Well, we know he wanted to kill goblins.
I was pointing at this third green.
Sieko looks at
You could have said what you pointed
No,
to.
like 100%.
No.
Yes, Tictor just
Alright.
wins. Sieko just stares at Naka. Go ahead, sorry, Sieko.
Fucking. No, it was like he wanted something about help the mountain. He wanted us to be here.
Interesting. You took a random Thrycreen that you knew nothing about and brought it here.
Not.
I saw his true shape and knew he could kill us all. If we said no.
Wasn't really a option to not go here. It seems.
They say nice.
And I assume you are the ones who've been activating my time magic spells that I've had set to avoid that mountain above me exploding. You know, the water, as he looks to Sieko specifically and glares at him.
Yeah, he wasn't specific. He said something about draining water. We assumed it was that, and I kind of went with it. My apologies.
Oh, as he kind of yawns and kind of stretches his arm out and goes, "Oh, I'm too tired for this. You've done your deed. Be on your way. Cause me no more problems." As he turns and starts to walk back down the hallway, or gets up and turns and walks down the hallway.
Works for me.
Fine by me.
I
Closing
guess I'll look
doors.
at the other Thrycreen and be like, "So, we good here? You all good?"
It looks at Daka and looks back at Tictric and Bastion, kind of goes between them and starts speaking again, and you hear it say in its native tongue, or its Thrycreen tongue, "No, you're supposed to kill it."
No. I'll start walking.
He just looks at Tictric and looks back at Bastion in confusion.
Yeah, I'm walking too. Absolutely not.
Sorry, Chief.
He just kind of looks confused and looks at Bastion as if it expects Bastion to do something.
You start.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, and I like pat him on the back as I walk out.
He just kind of turns arms out and goes. He starts speaking in perfect common. "Are you serious?" I could
We
have
can't-
killed all of you at any time. Your friend, as he points to Tick, is what I eat for lunch.
You can kill us. He can delete us.
All right, you would sooner challenge him or challenge me than him.
Oh yeah.
You would
Wouldn't
dare
you?
to challenge my authority. As it starts, you see its Thrycreen visage starts to kind of crack, and you see the body of this thing starts to kind of fill out as it's getting larger and larger and starting to fill up the tunnel a little bit, and it starts to move towards you a lot, yelling and screaming. And now at this point, none of you understand the shrieking language it has. Everyone. Roll.
Can I ask the
Initiative.
ring while he's molting? Can I ask the ring one question before it happens?
Yeah.
So you know teleportation, right?
You hear a brief message in your head go, "Give me a reason."
What do you want?
Doesn't
A
the
body?
rings worship Sieko?
It's supposed to.
It's also full of a cynical asshole, though, and that's message that's put in its personality.
What do you want? New body? Something else? A throne? Huh? It's nothing I haven't heard before.
You want me to teleport it? Or you want me to teleport you?
How far away could you send it?
You hear for a split second in your mind, make a decision. As the creature's starting to get closer to the party as they ready themselves.
It as far away from me as possible.
You hear the voice
South
go,
Pole.
"Command understood," and suddenly it disappears. The hallway goes silent.
I wonder
All right,
what.
I'm walking out of here.
I wonder what as far as possible means.
Who knows? I'm walking out of here.
Could that mean another dimension?
Maybe.
Or the physically the opposite side of the world, of this planet.
You know what? We'll
Doesn't
find
matter.
out.
It at least bought us time.
Yeah, I'm walking to the airship.
Yeah, okay. As Daka's leaving this cave, he's like, bye, red man. Bye-bye.
Daka hears for a second. "Good luck, young man."
Yeah.
Distant
Yeah.
Goji screams. Oh man. Yeah, as you guys kind of come out, heading out onto the ship once more, or heading out into the field once more, Sieko, Bastion, Tiktrick, Daka, and Goji, who is listening in the chat, you hear for a moment the simple, very quiet and wistfulness in your ears, or in your heads. "Thank you," and it just kind of mellows. As you climb back on the ship, Goji just kind of waves excitingly at you lot. And you see he's got a couple of gemstones kind of set to the side that he's picked up off the ground.
God damn it.
As you look at them, you know none of them look to have been actually stuck in the ground. They look to have been probably pretty loose by the looks of them.
That works.
You'd guess Goji's probably got probably around like 4,000 gold pieces worth of gemstones just sitting there.
That works. Good for Goji.
You know, Daka,
Hmm.
I think I know where we could find a very special goblin.
Goblins?
I don't know of multiple, but I'm sure we could find one.
Where?
Well, let's find out.
Oh no.
I would
What goblin are you talking about?
I know what goblin
Hi.
he's referring to. He's looking for
would
Gon.
like to open the
Isn't Gon dead?
Yes, but no. Uh-oh. You're going to find something here in a minute. That's what you're looking for.
I would like to open the book
Mhm.
and locate Gon.
All right. DM,
I remember when
Sieko-
Duramar gave you that book.
You know,
Sieko, under the rule of his ring, is making his first promise.
Okay.
They have to keep. If Bastion gets a situation where we will die, like 100% chance we'll die, I will kill Bastion.
Okay. So you can write that down once Sieko's flaws. All right. As you look into this book and cast locate person from it, you suddenly see Gone, alive and well, sitting with their plate, cleaning their plate mail and some swords on their that are set off to the side, talking and joking with what you immediately recognize as Tikva Silver Song, and immediately what you recognize as well as Zaya Raven Song. You don't see any Gaul, you don't see anybody else, but you see Gon just kind of sitting there in this room. As you look about trying to get a better image of the house, or the room they're in, it looks to be just a small house somewhere. A lot of the furniture is all made out of wood with very dainty vine-like designs on it. The woodworking itself seems to be very natural and almost as if it's been the wood itself has been bent to that way in at the want of the plant rather than someone trying to shape it to their own desire. But other than that, you can't get out much more. You only see this them working on their armor and laughing and joking with Tikva and Zaya. You also, for a second, see a spout of silver scales in the off in the corner, but it disappears as soon as it pops up.
Would I recognize where that style of furniture work came from?
Give me a history check.
History. All right.
I'd rather kill more goblins instead of just one.
22.
Yeah, that's it looks to be it's of elvish make. Whether that's the elvish lands, I mean, there are people who like to collect elvish furniture because of its nature, its natural look. A lot of nobles and merchants tend to carry the stuff in their own personal households. It's a lot more comfortable than dwarven furniture, which is very made to order. Let's call it.
Well, it seems that the goblin is somewhere in the elven lands with the silver song.
Well, I was told to leave the silver songs alone for a while. They were too strong, remember? The god back at the capital.
I remember that.
Said it was very strong.
Yes, but
There's more goblins out here, and there's only one goblin there.
I know more about them than the guards do.
Then are they strong?
Well, are we strong?
Not because strong.
We could be stronger. We weren't strong enough to fight that purple worm.
I don't know. Just telling you where a very well-named goblin is.
Well, I'm not here for
A hero of sorts.
That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for pelts. I'm here for quantity. Not quality.
Maybe we could search the mountains again. Might want to be careful of the more Thri-Kreen hives. I don't know how many are here.
I think the longer we stay here, the closer that thing gets.
Well, actually, with what Tieko said, anywhere going further away from here would be getting closer to it.
Well, Sieko was speaking in his head because that's how
Oh, was he? My bad.
You would just see the ring flash and the thing vanish.
Well, we don't know where that thing went, so...
I sent it as far away as possible. It's not coming back.
I want to kill goblins. Lots of goblins.
Maybe if you ask the ship to take us to goblins, it'll take us to goblins.
After getting on the ship, I'll call to Goji. Goji, get the ship to send us to goblins.
Goji just kind of turns, gives you a salute, and grabs the wheel of the ship, spins it as fast as he can, and starts flying. And wait, where are you heading?
Asking the ship.
The ship had a thing where we could talk to and it could take us places. I wanted to take us to goblins.
Yeah, you just see as Goji just turns the ship and it starts suddenly flying off towards the High Elven lands.
I don't want to go to fucking Gone.
Now, I specified goblins.
I know.
Okay. There, Daka, there's more than one over there, apparently.
Is heading in the easternly direction. There is a lot of lands between you. You are as far west almost as you can get. Everything between you and the east is east. So by stating that it's heading in the direction of the High Elf lands, that just means that you are parallel with the High Elf lands because of where you are in the Orc lands currently. Well, actually in the Goblin lands, technically. Ex-Goblin lands. And you are just heading generally the direction of the east.
Alright, let's see what goblins we end up at.
You see as Goji just kind of for a second starts to kind of get the wheel moving, and then you see him kind of smile, really big smile, as he pushes on a strange silver object that has appeared on the wheel, and you all suddenly find yourself traveling through a rip in the fabric of reality. And
not
find
again.
Yourself in the astral plane.
Yeah,
And
that's another one of these.
Because the DM is getting a text message about his date coming over is where we're going to end session today, because I have a date in 30 minutes.
Astral Speed,
We thank you all for watching. We hope you've enjoyed, and we will see you guys. Oh, wait, before we call it a day for the day, Daka, do you have anything to add to Daka Notes?
I have no notes today.
It has been a very exciting day of a lot of shit going on, so it's pretty normal. Alright, not a problem. We thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys on the next episode where the party's going to get a very interesting surprise. Thank you all, and see you then. So you don't get